Good morning. It's February 5th, 2025, Wednesday. Struggling with a little bit of a cold, so if you hear me deeper voice or if I have to cough, we'll find out. Starting off pretty okay today. It's cold, but not super cold. And that's going to really play a lot into the icing situation we have overnight into tomorrow. Even though I think there will be ice on trees and everything else, the ground is definitely warm. We're going warm into it. It's only going to drop below freezing this evening, and the ground will be, just right there, borderline. So I think ambient heat and everything else is going to keep most things all good. Until you get the deeper side of the most, secluded areas, that could be a problem. So I still think it's going to be an issue tomorrow, but I'm not expecting a lot of ice here from this system. Even though some of the models were pretty high, I learned a lot last night from some meteorologists, that, there's a challenge with the models trying to estimate how much precipitation and how much of it's frozen between frames. So that's kind of why we're seeing what we're seeing. Okay, so let's start over here. Here we are today. I was way off in the future here. A lot of cold air here bounded up in Canada, and we're getting bleeds of that into the region, and we're right near the front between cold and hot. This high is to the north, but it is damming cold air east of the mountains. That's what these sagging lines are. That's why we have colder air, just cold enough for a mixture. And it's going to start off maybe as a mixture of sleet. So here's the sleet this evening, and then some sleet and freezing rain overnight, and then it kind of, starts to get warm enough that it turns to just plain rain tomorrow morning at some point, probably after 9 or 10. It will be totally plain rain. But then it won't be too bad tomorrow. Highs in the 40s, so a lot of that will melt because I don't think it's going to be very thick. Then we go through a very similar scenario on Saturday as we get this disturbance to move in. It looks borderline whether or not it's cold enough at this point because it's low off to the west, a little stronger than I think originally was forecasted. Because of that, it pulls in warm air. The high to the north is too far north, and so we're not getting as much cold air in here. So the original pull for snow may be a little bit lost, and I wouldn't be surprised if it goes north. We'll see. But here's the big situation. Starting Monday, here comes this moisture from the west, and here's 1034 low to the north, and it's all about timing here on where this high is, this low comes up, where the cold air is, and everything else. There are some challenges here, y'all, and it's a concern I have that it won't be strong enough cold to keep it all snow. Yeah, it's going to start off with snow, and it's going to be heavy for a period of time. We're going to have a good drop of snow, and here we have, this is Monday now. And this is the GFS, by the way, the American model. You see that the pinks and stuff are getting really close to our area. And I gotta tell you, as soon as we start seeing intrusion of warmer air showing up on models, you have to take it serious. Now, as this moves out, I don't like this low up here. This high, I was hoping to be a little further to the east, keep the cold air in place for this follow-up wave, which is where the big dog could happen. So we get this first kind of appetizer of a system that could bring in some colder air, and if it does it right, it will keep us cold enough to snow. And so that's what the model's showing here. I just think this and timing and everything are a little too tight because you can see the sleet line is getting close. And I got to tell you guys, like I said before, if we start to see intrusions of warmer air, it just seems to be the winner. Warm air is always possible, and getting that close to our backyard is really a scary thing. That's a lot of sleet, a sleet bomb at this point in our backyards. In the county, at least on this map, is divided between sleet and snow. And it's not just the American model that's showing that. It's also the European model. Then we get a little follow-up, little wave of snow even on Wednesday, and then maybe more of a system later. We'll have to see if all that comes true and how it's going to come out. What I do think is models aren't exactly certain yet, but I don't like the erosion of the colder air, and the timing and stuff now doesn't look ideal. And as soon as we start to see erosions, I start to get worried that things are not going to go our way for a good snowstorm. And here we go with European. Same deal. Again, showing us the sleet, freezing rain tonight. And then on Saturday, this little system showing some sleet. So not much precipitation with it, really. Kind of a good deal. Don't really want to deal with that. And then Super Bowl Sunday. Looks chilly and kind of breezy. And then we've got, here's the snow coming in. So here we are on Monday with that, beginning wave of snow. But you can see we're already mixing over even in the first wave on this one. The other one didn't show that. And then, as we move forward, we get into the warmer, sleety kind of setup as we move forward from the system. It's all about where these highs get to the north of us and confluence and stuff. I mean, this could be just one model run, but I did see kind of a little bit of a trend for it to go a little north. Now, the ensemble members, the other models, don't show it quite so terrible of a setup. And if I showed you how much snow these things were outputting, maybe a lot, but it's interpreting sleet as snow, so it's overdoing it. On the American model, it still shows like a foot of snow on us, but I would say it's like 70% snow, 30% ice, so you got to take quite a bit off the top. I could glaciate in things and keep it here for a while, because you get that ice on top of snow and it's hard to melt. But anyway, it's something to watch. Anyway, that's not set in stone. I think tonight we just have to watch for some sleet, freezing rain. It won't be super heavy. Total amounts could be around 1/10 to 2/10 of an inch. On the exposed, not exposed, but like the elevated areas and the places are shaded and sidewalks and stuff like that. Things should warm up enough tomorrow to melt most of that out. And then on Friday night and Saturday, I don't think that's going to really be that big a deal, even if we do get some sleet and snow. Hey, that was a long discussion. Hope you have an awesome day, and I hope you stay well. I'm hoping my sickness is brief. Have a good one.